This help video deals with a new function in Weka Pro as of the fall of 2016 for the collecting of class attendance and building related contacts through a new version of the group function. This function is accessed from a couple of different places. Primarily, you can get to it from the main menu by clicking on the My Attendance button. And a new pop-up will ask whether you want to go to the traditional attendance history view or do you want to work with gathering class attendance for either a virtual classroom or a face-to-face classroom. This is designed to be used for collecting in a single document the attendance for a single class meeting, much like a daily attendance sheet in a traditional schoolhouse. When the screen opens, it will default to the current date, which you will see right here, and if there are any attendance rosters already created for that day for a particular class, you will see them in this list of attendance records below. We're going to create a new one, which is what you would do if you were starting a new class. So you begin with build an attendance record and first tell the system whether you're having a virtual meeting or a face-to-face meeting. We're going to make this a virtual meeting, so it wants a room ID. In this case, we'll put go to meeting for a virtual room ID and a class title. The start time for the class using 24-hour time format. So a class that started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, for instance, would be entered as 1400 hours. Once those have been entered, you're ready to gather the names of the students who are in attendance at this class or meeting that is a group meeting. You can do that by selecting students from the lists that are provided at the right, either the list of all students, which is filterable, or the list of those students for whom you are listed as a highly qualified teacher, or from one of your groups. In this case, I'm selected a homeroom group, and I'm going to add these students really quickly to this list just simply by clicking on the names of the students. The system will not allow you to add a student a second time. It will give you a warning flag that they've been posted. If you add a student that in fact isn't there, you can remove that student by clicking this little delete icon button on the left side of the student's name. If you, after that, add another student, the system will infill to the empty spot. Now, once you've gathered the names of the students that are there, and you've entered the ending time for the meeting or class here, then you are ready to quickly set up the contact data so that you can convert this attendance sheet into individual contact records for these students. So to set up the contact data, click on this button. Enter a classroom type. In this case, we're going to say that this is a virtual classroom that was a meeting, that the class location was in fact online, that we met for 1 hour. And here we can click to enter any kind of information or message or reminder notation about what this contact was all about. It's an open field. It's not a requirement, so you can use it to your best advantage for the system. Once that's done, simply click the Post Attendance to Contacts button, and the system will take care of all the rest. What it will do is it will begin by examining the list of kids that you've brought over onto this record, and then working from the top of that list to the bottom creating a contact record with this data on it for each one of those students. The system will open a screen that suggests how many records are left to be built and approximately what the runtime is. Now, the runtime is variable based on the system load and how many people are running functions at the same time, and a whole host of variables. Once the system counts down through the number of records that you have, it will display an alert to you that the process is completed. And that really ends your use of this. I'll talk in just a minute about how this is used in the system for other purposes. But now let's talk about a couple of the other items that are here, part of this system. If this is a class that meets every other day, every week, every day, whatever it happens to be, it is possible to return to one of these particular records, pull it back up, and then duplicate the attendance record. Now, what that function does is it will take the active record and it will duplicate that record in every respect, including listing all of the students who are on the record that you duplicate. It will automatically change the class date so that you can basically take this record that describes Math 1 class that you hold via GoToMeeting that starts at 2 o'clock and ends at 3 o'clock, and it allows you to duplicate that record for the next class meeting and presume that all of the students that were there before are there again. I'm going to duplicate this record. There's a pop-up that tells you what's about to happen, gives you a chance to cancel it. And once it's been duplicated, you'll notice that I now have another record that is in fact stamped for this current date. Now, in normal function, you would be pulling up a record from a previous day that you wanted to work with today, and when you hit the duplicate function, it would automatically put in today's date. In any event, the date is always modifiable from this field right here. So by clicking on this particular field right here, you can change the date of the session to whatever date that you want. When you enter the new date, it will change the filter over here and move your record to that particular day. Now you'll note that we have a record with all the same students that were with us before. They are not marked as having a contact record set up, but all of those people are there. I remember that we added Eartha Kitt here, and in fact Eartha Kitt is not with us today, but we will assume that Hot Lips is back. So now we've got a new record for a new day. We can set up the contact data just like we did before. And post the attendance. Let's talk for just a minute now about the functions related to the displayed list of meetings. I'm going to click this button right here and take us back to today, where we have at least 2 meetings shown. If this is being used by a number of people in your particular school, you will find perhaps quite a number of records here. You can filter those records in a number of ways. First of all, you can say I just want to see the face-to-face records, so click that radio button and it will restrict that view. Or I just want to see the ones for virtual classes, or in this case, I want to see all of them. You can also, if there are classes posted by other instructors, you can also click on the instructor's name here, and it will be entered into this filter up here such that only those records that are associated with that instructor are shown. Click the All button so that you can see all of them. Now this is a new function, class attendance contacts, inside the existing group contact history. And there will be another help video that will discuss all the aspects of the group contact. One of the related features of this particular attendance collection allows an administrator or a teacher to check on a student's attendance quickly. I'm going to go to My Students. I'm going to click on Sandra D here. And you will notice that there is a new button on the Sandra D's record over at the right that says Check Group Attendance. By clicking that button, the system will display a list of all the group attendance records that are in existence in the system for that student. And if any of those records happen to be the same day as the current day, they will be highlighted in green. As you can see, the two meetings that Sandra attended today, my orientation meeting and my Math 1 GOTA meeting. That's just one of the features that's related to the attendance information that you can find underneath class records. You can come back to this. You can easily click on any one of these to see the records that were there. And in fact, you can even return to one of these and add a student that may have been forgotten. Now you'll notice that we've added Cheryl Crow, and in fact, we need to gather the attendance again for her and turn it back into a contact record, but we can easily do that in the same way we did for the rest of the group.